Squadron. I am bolted up. Alright, so this is going to be the hyper mode. Very first tutorial, walk through how the engine works. This works for all the waveforms, yata mashata, or whatever you want to call it, oscillator shapes. Alright, you see the pictures, and we will go from here. Let's get an opening demo for display. I'm going to kill this mic, and we're going to get into why we would want to plug that into Ring Mod, which I'll show you here in a sec. As I switch them out, put the pictures as you see, and we could go from there. We'll discuss it, and we'll discuss how the engine works in Yata. The diagram will also appear here for a good bit of time so you guys can see. Alright, so there's the diagram, how it works. 0, 64, the main number. 64 is the middle. So that's the root. 0, 32, 64, 96. 64 keeps the harmonic at the fundamental, the root. When you get to 0, you're on a higher fundamental. If you go to 127 or 96, whatever in that region, you're on the lowest. If you're on 32, you're in between. That's how it works. That's how the diagram works. That's how I wrote it. So when you play with the hyper engine, you guys clearly can see this stuff, and you will hear it as well. But what we actually have going on, get beside the diagram. One is plugged into 2 at 16 on the FM. 2 is plugged in to 3 at 24 on the FM. And 3 is just a triangle wave for this one, and it's plugged into 1 on 36. That's how you get the FM. Everything's on. You know, everything's on maximum volume. Well, this one's actually off. But in this case, we didn't really want it on anyway. Because its presence screws up the sound, takes it out of tune. And also on 1, we have this plus 24 on the D tune. So this is a triangle 5. You see the diagram for that, or the picture for it. That's what it is, and that's why I brought it to triangle on the 3 for the silent plug. Now let's get into ring mod. Turn the amp on, and we'll listen to that now. Let me kill his mic. See how big that get? The sound, that's filling up the room for real. Well, I don't know, maybe it probably would if I had it on speaker, but man, that shit filled my brain up. I feel like I got transient info from this. Like, that's a square. This is a square too. You see it? You see the diagram. Now let's talk about bringing in stuff. Okay, the pulse width is set to 0 on the highest peak. Now the source was set up to off. Let's set it to on, right? And let's see what we get. Remember, oh yeah, I don't know. I gotta tell you about these LFOs. They provide, this sign is the fundamental. The triangle is the odd, the square is the odd, and the saw is the even and the odd. They provide that, but watch, you'll see. Check it out. We add it in. See? LFO on the 63. This is going to move a transition between the 0, 32, 64, 96. I should have been at 8 because that 122 is at 8. Sometimes you can break the rules. Sometimes you can break the rules. I know this is square, but sometimes it's cool to mix it. Check it out. See, I rest my case. Like this synthesizer allows you to play the picture. Okay, this is the very articulate creme de la creme quintuela of synthesis. Software, hardware, utilitarian box. I'm reprogramming it. What hyper engine do you know that you can combine the different types of waveforms plus whatever else, and how we got it plugged in Yata Mashata? None other than the Blofeld. And then you have none other than yours truly bringing this shit to you 100% purest parrot. You can't mess this up. No way, no how. There's no way to mess it up. We got this combined. A square root 5, square root 2. You know, look, let's change it up. Let's change it to something odd. A trapezoid plus 0. You'll see this picture. I gotta stop playing. See, that's where the process is starting to fry it a little bit. I'm telling you, that's definitely hyper. Hyper like a pot of coffee. There's no way to stop me. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to stop this. Look, let's match it up though. Let's match it up. Well, you know what? Let's mix it up. Let's bring in the X off. See the picture. See the picture for the hexagram. I believe that would be it. See that? Let's run through both. Screw it. Yeah, it gets a little bit more interesting when you throw the comb on that one. But, you know, you basically get my drift on how this works. Best to keep everything matched up. And how this works is you can play this hyper engine on any footage. It definitely stretches out and moves it around in Yatam Shata, but it works the same way on every footage. You keep these settings here. If you go to more extreme settings, it'll become more detuned as the spread comes out, and Yatam Shata, I'm pretty sure you guys already know that, being Blofeld users and owners. So yeah, you can get this hyper engine for $5, 54 items. You know, there's only 39 spaces in the Blofeld, so you gotta get it how you live and do things arbitrarily to your liking. And $5 for 54 of these as a whole engine. I'm gonna make some more. It's just right now, I don't really think that's the most interesting stuff that we can get into on here, because we have a lot to go over. We have a lot to display, like gargoyles and summoning runes and Yata Mashata. So this will be the tutorial on how to use the hyper engine as a whole. This is how it works for every waveform. I'll continue to play a little bit, but I'm gonna cut this off right now in a minute. But I just want you guys to see how this works. Alright, here's the Trap 3-1, aka the Trap House. Remember, this is in its full luster. Amp envelope is going to ring mod level. That's to add in extra color, because if we kill that, so that's the rehack. When you throw this ring mod in, it sums up the already 8 that you already have. So now you have 16 plus this one plus this, because this adds into the color. So that's like 19. So imagine if you ran a multi and you had a couple hyper engines running in a multi, like a 2 or 3 part multi. Man, that'd be real big sounding, you know, real grandiose. This little ass box, right? Yeah, so that will be it in its full splendor. That's how you do it. If you want to take the middle one down to 64, you can do that and do what I just did. Set LFO to go up plus 63 as we did to the 1-on-1. Sorry for all that fluent English. People would say I talk too fast, but I would say it's just fluent. You slow and you just catching up. On that note, I will catch you on the flip. That's the hyper engine diagram one more time so you see how it works. I hope you enjoyed that. Picture run through one time from the beginning to end. I only loaded a couple because you know wood space is limited. Time is limited as well. Hypersine, try, saw, square, try plus 3, trap 3 plus 0, plus 1, sine orbs, there's no filter on for all that robust noise, and noise can be made, and you can start switching up the footages, which adds to more color and yata mashata. Buddha bless you. I'll catch you on the flip.